Many organizations nowadays visit places such as flower farms and banana plantations where most child labor activity takes place. In accordance with the law, they are required to remove any child under the age of 15 from the workplace or any adolescent who works more than 6 hours a day. They are also instructed to check for dangerous or unhealthy labor conditions for children. This inspection has a broader scope than to examine the child worker. It also involves all areas concerning the workplace, health, work policy, social environment, and other related issues, explains Monica Suarez, who wrote the inspection manual used by inspectors. According to the Human Rights Watch report, Ecuadorian children as young as 8 labor in banana fields and packing plants where they are exposed to toxic pesticides and are required to work with sharp knives. They often have little job security and refrain from organizing because they fear getting fired. Eradicating child labor not only depends on government institutions, but we also have to engage the factory owner, business managers, and all the private sector, says head monitor for the National Ministry of Labor. Even though the government programs have shown positive results, progress has been slow. According to UNICEF, 6% of Ecuadorian children between the ages of 5 and 14 are still engaged in some form of child labor. The 1998 Constitution specifically calls for children in Ecuador to be protected in the workplace against economic exploitation or conditions that may hinder a minor's personal development or education. Children remain vulnerable. That's why national enterprises are urged to adopt codes of conduct warranting that neither they nor their subcontractors will employ children in conditions that violate their rights. Social policies must be developed to take into account the best interests of the child and include measures to protect those interests, says UNICEF Ecuador representative. This new initiative can only work if children who are recovered are successfully kept out of the workplace. UNICEF is also working to create awareness in communities and to provide the type of support, education, health, parental guidance that will prevent them from going back to work.
Bueno, aquí estamos con la señora Cintia Mariscal y ella nos va a contar su historia que vivió de la injusticia laboral.
Ya, en el año 1999 yo trabajaba para una compañía que daba permisos para portar armas, que en ese entonces se podía portar armas. En el año 99 yo quedé embarazada y yo no sabía que estaba embarazada. Yo no reporté al Departamento de Recursos Humanos. Al cuarto mes me di cuenta que estaba embarazada, hablé con Recursos Humanos y me dijeron que no había ningún problema. Meses después vino el problema, la dolarización y decidieron hacer recorte de personal. En ese recorte de personal me dijeron que prescindían de mis servicios. Quise demandarlos porque no pueden votar a una mujer embarazada, pero ellos alegaron de que era recorte personal por la pésima situación económica que vivía el país en el año 99. Por falta de recursos económicos no pude contratar un abogado, no hice nada y me quedé sin trabajo en esa época.
Bueno, estamos aquí con la señorita Gabriela, que nos va a contar acerca de su experiencia laboral. Cuéntenos, de todos los trabajos en los que usted ha estado, ¿en cuál se sentía explotada laboralmente?
Bueno, yo creo que en el último trabajo que estuve, era una consultora dedicada a la administración de riesgos laborales. Básicamente se dedicaba a crear programas de prevención en cuanto a los riesgos que pueden existir dentro de una organización.
¿De qué forma? ¿Cómo le afectó?
Puedo decir que muchas veces, la explotación no es un término que se coina a tiempos remotos en cuanto a la esclavitud, y actualmente se lo utiliza en el ámbito laboral de modo, cuando el trabajo de un colaborador no es subvalorado. Entonces, por ende, yo creo que en algún momento dentro de mi carrera, dentro de mi trabajo como profesional, esto se dio de modo que me vi afectada, ya que yo en algunos momentos yo trabajaba horas extras y no se me consideraba una remuneración adecuada en base a lo que yo trabajaba. Por ende, básicamente eso es la explotación laboral, o también cuando no se te reconocen beneficios que por ley tú puedes acceder como colaborador.
Listo.
fight against poverty in Ecuador has made great strides. In 2013, income poverty stood at 25.6%, this indicator having declined from 37.5% in 2006. However, if we look beyond the national average, among those self-defining as indigenous, the incidence of income poverty was 51.1%. Among Montuvians, it was 44.2%, and in Afro-Ecuadorians, it was 35.9%, while among white the figure was 14.3%. The Social Observatory of Ecuador says that in 2012, the provinces with more children and teenagers in poverty were Bolívar at 91%, Chimborazo at 89%, and Esmeraldas at 81%. From a multidimensional perspective, the Economic Commission for Latin America and the Caribbean, in its publication Social Panorama of Latin America 2013, shows that around year 2011, some 40.7% of Ecuador's children and teenagers were living in situations of poverty, and 15.1% in extreme multidimensional poverty, placing the country near the regional averages. It is important for Ecuador to systematically monitor multidimensional child poverty, as this is a priority attention group where efforts should be concentrated if a more equitable country is to be achieved.
In order of the role of government in this issue of worker exploitation and also poverty, first of all, we can say that Ecuador is doing something about this. First, we see the Ministry of Labor Relations that has created a public-private partnership, and they have the initiative of creating 14 more businesses with the purpose of eliminating child labor and worker exploitation. It's also important to emphasize the fact that Ecuador is one of the first pioneers countries in Latin America that has installed a procedural system for the evacuating of labor processes. Another thing that is worth mentioning is that the Republic of Ecuador has created norms. These norms guarantee to the working people the full respect of their dignity. Also, it is in life, remunerations and unfair remunerations, and the performance of a healthy work, an appropriate and supportive environment in their work, and the right to honor the protection of their personal data, their personal and family privacy. These types of law really creates an improvement in society, really avoids this type of worker exploitation. This isn't just what we think that worker exploitation is about. When we think about worker exploitation, the first thing that comes to our mind is that workers are being forced to work more than they should. They exceed their limit of hours and they aren't paid enough. But this isn't the only way that workers are being exploited. Another way in that workers can be exploited is by child labor. And nowadays is really frequently in the agricultural area. And Ecuador is trying to eradicate this. And there are laws that has been created in order to try to eradicate this. Even though we may think that it's kind of impossible to achieve this, it is possible and we are going to achieve this. If we all work together and if we all try to denunciate those companies that aren't providing the rights that each human has.
Has this issue been resolved? Social injustice in labor has reduced, of course, because nowadays the weekly hours of work is only 40. Also, with all these new governments, they have increased laws and things in favor of workers or employees. Also, nowadays, we have overtime work, which means that if you have a lot of work to do and you need to stay on the business more time, they will pay you. So that's also something that motivates workers. The social work promotes social change, problem solving in human relationships and empowerment and liberation of people to enhance well-being. So over the years, laws
have changed in a better way in which workers will have benefits, like overtime. That's a benefit to gain more money. Also the change of governments. They think about what is best for all and try to make it fair for everyone to produce benefits to employees with more jobs opportunities. The hours of work has been reduced because it's something really important, because parents should go home and give time for their kids, and also they have been reduced because they need time to relax, have a family time as I already said, and enjoy Sundays.